afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast, brought to you by ReallyCoolNews. I'm Jim Finch and I'll be your host with three big stories and a look at the GoFundMe market tonight. Before we go any further, I just wanted to give a big shout out to NCR News Network for promoting the channel and helping us get closer to the 500 subscribers we need for level 1 monetization. As I record this, we're at 492 subscribers and I can feel that 500 is just days away. Thank you all for your support, and a bigger thank you to NCR for helping get the word out. Not lingering long, though, as I ask you to focus on... Future Jim here, we hit 500. We'll have our special all-star party tomorrow night, celebrating it once everyone who unsubscribed just to screw us over is done doing that, and we remain at 500. So thank you again to all of you. Thank you to NCR for promoting us. And let's keep on keeping on. This is level 1. We need to get to that level 2 so we start making some actual revenue. Thank you again all as I ask you to focus on GoFundMe. Long Island Audit takes day again. YouTuber Sean Paul, Long Island Audit Riaz, Support the Fight Against Tyranny and Corruption campaign, took the top spot in the GoFundMe race again on Sunday, with a $100 take for the day. The campaign's only competition came from our own ongoing expenses fund, which took in $25 from an anonymous donor and reignited our streak of anonymous faces who wished to keep us writing this column every day. LIA recently appeared on a Frauditor Troll livestream and denied allegations that he was making millions of dollars off of YouTube and his crowdfunding campaigns. He expressed his concern about the allegations and expressed that he was a simple YouTube creator who made money but barely enough to support himself and his family off of his endeavors. YouTuber Mark Stout, who was also on the panel, told the audience that Riaz was a trust fund baby and questioned why anyone would support Riaz financially, as his family was supporting him and he was making a large amount of money from his YouTube endeavors. Riaz reportedly recently bought a $160,000 billboard truck to support his anti-police campaign without the need for donations from his fans, only opening a crowdfunding campaign for $25,000 after he had purchased the vehicle. The 6 known crowdfunding campaigns belonging to Riaz have brought in a combined $105,000 in donations from supporters since their inception, essentially pulling in double of the money raised by Chille DeCastro in the same time period, with a similar amount of GoFundMe campaigns. While Riaz's campaigns have been in decline recently, with sporadic donations observed, he also has a partnership with Attorney Shield and has a strong following on the Cameo video messaging service. Denying the accusations of great wealth may be strategic, as crowdsourcing is still considered taxable income. Anyone drawing in over $100,000 in donations over the past year may bring a renewed interest from the IRS, who will want a full accounting of taxes paid on that money. On that note, if you'd like to join our tiny collection of hate watchers who have raised less than 2% of Riaz's total GoFundMe take in an effort to keep me writing this column every morning, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. DeCastro files for new briefing schedule. In a new filing in Chille DeCastro's Las Vegas-based federal civil rights lawsuit, attorney Michael Mee, representing DeCastro, has filed a request for a supplemental briefing schedule to update the arguments to an existing motion for summary judgment based on the overturning of the conviction of DeCastro for the charges that spawned the case. Despite dire wording, Attorney Mee has filed as a standard procedure, as the underlying verdict of this state-level case has been changed since the motion for summary judgment was filed. Essentially, when the motion was filed, DeCastro had been convicted of the crime. Now that the conviction has been overturned, Mee would like to talk about it. Mee's dire statements that the state-level court concluded that the officer's actions were wholly unlawful, and the inclusion of the lower court ruling as an exhibit may have some influence on the case. Judge Andrew Gordon has already ruled on his own that there was probable cause for the arrest and has dismissed almost all of DeCastro's charges against the LVMPD in a mix of dismissal with prejudice and dismissal without prejudice, but with specific instructions on how they should be re-argued. DeCastro then ignored that ruling and essentially filed the same charges again. Me is simply looking to brief the court on the change of status and how it impacts the arguments for and against the motion for summary judgment at this time. Judge Michelle Levitt overturned DeCastro's conviction of obstructing an officer and resisting arrest last month based on what she claimed to be First Amendment protected conduct. DeCastro had served almost 4 months in the Clark County Detention Center at that point and has threatened to sue Nevada for his wrongful conviction. Levitt's decision has been criticized as the judge has been accused of ignoring basic facts of the case. In her ruling, she stated that arresting officer Brandon Bork arrested DeCastro for refusing to follow commands and back up to a safe distance. She found that because DeCastro backed up after Bork had announced that he was detaining DeCastro, his actions were justification for overturning the sentencing. Judge Gordon, reviewing the same evidence, found that Bork had properly acted in arresting DeCastro. DeCastro is seeking a multi-million-dollar judgment based on the arrest, discrimination, and excessive force claims. If granted, the supplemental briefing would be due within 14 days of the order, with the response from the defense due 14 days after that. Grant Smith Ellis equates Peter to Turtleboy. Reporter Grant Smith Ellis took to Twitter over the weekend with a series of attacks on Mass Hole Troll Mafia leader Kate Peter, equating her actions in helping organize the movement in support of the family of John O'Keefe, the victim in the Karen Read murder trial, with that of Aidan Turtleboy Kearney, the former leader of the Free Karen Read movement. His latest Twitter message read, "Here is a special Towel-sponsored Karen Read trial public service announcement. It is possible to support justice for John O'Keefe without covering up or enabling the behavior of Kate Peter, just like it is permissible to support accused killer Karen Read, sans liking Turtleboy. Anyone who tells you otherwise is a lethargic devil or worried that by holding Kate or TB accountable, support for their team will go down. Hashtag Monday Morning Towel Thoughts." The reporter had spent the weekend attacking Peter for her involvement in raising money for lunch on July 2, 2024, at a hearing in the Karen Read murder case. She gave out her Venmo QR code for donations, then asked for donations to stop once the amount needed to cover lunch was raised. Smith Ellis tweeted, "Okay, let's talk details. Kate Peter, aka Mattia Masshole, is confirmed private investigator with ties to a number of players in the Karen Read trial. I believe the plan was to get Turtleboy charged as a way to force him to flip on Karen Read. However, that became untenable because LG wouldn't drop certain charges as Kate demanded, thus making that plea deal untenable. Let's talk truth, Kate. It's time folks realize that all sides know what you're doing, and people are talking, as much as that drives you up the wall due to lack of control." Ellis had previously been criticized by both Peter and Kearney for crowdsourcing to cover his lunches when he was reporting on scene at the Karen Read murder trial. He also accused Peter of conspiring with former Kearney girlfriend Lindsay Gaetini to force Kearney to flip on Read by having him charged with crimes against Gaetini. In continued tweets about the subject, Ellis accused Peter of damaging the movement through these allegations and by supporting the family of O'Keefe through her crowdsourcing effort to cover lunch. He revealed the message from Peter asking for donations to stop as his smoking gun that she was destroying the movement. He tweeted, "Sorry folks, the cat is out of the bag now. What comes out from here is out of my control. I tried to warn some of you. I pleaded. You ignored me. The damage Kate Peter has done is going to come to define this case, and that is heartbreaking." Peter and Ellis had once been friends, with Ellis eventually falling out with Peter over their friendship with Lindsay Gaetini. Ellis, from reports, had an ongoing friendship with Gaetini, which ended when Peter and Gaetini became close friends. Ellis has also essentially been barred from covering the ongoing Karen Read murder trial and he was allegedly targeted by Aidan Turtleboy Kearney and cohort Jessica Machado in an incident in which Machado had a physical altercation with Ellis that saw her be granted a protection order against Ellis that prevents him from being 100 yards from her. The reporter had been in daily conflict with Kearney over standing in line for the limited seats for press each day at the Karen Reed murder trial. The protection order, when Machado then had a daily presence at the court, eliminated Ellis from providing daily live coverage of the trial and ended his ongoing conflict with Kearney. While Kearney no longer leads the Free Karen Reed movement, Peter is a rising star of the counter-protester who gathered to support the family of victim John O'Keefe. The movement started with a handful of supporters, including Peter, showing up to counter-protest during jury deliberations at the trial last month, and has grown to larger crowds showing up to support the family at the most recent hearing in the case. Ellis continues to report from home, as Machado frequents all hearings in the case, preventing him from covering it live. WNN's Jones hits Irish Demon with privacy strikes. YouTuber Irish Demon confirmed on a Sunday live stream that his main channel had received a multitude of privacy strikes by Daniel Jones of the Welsh News Network based on an incident where Demon visited Jones's house on air in May. The privacy strikes concerned airing of Jones's private life and private information. Demon received warnings that have yet to be resolved and may end up having to edit some of his past streams or take them down to remove the information. He is not expected to lose his channel, though it is a long-term possibility should Jones persist in filing claims against the channel. Demon responded to the strikes by announcing that he would be returning to Wales and apparently confronting Jones at an unannounced time in the future. He said that he wouldn't know which day it was until the day of the event and asked his fans in Wales to stand by should they want to have a gathering on that day. In the broadcast, Demon implied that he had someone who was interested in the charity drives Jones had run in the past and the money taken in for allegedly fraudulent activity. He implied that Jones had previously dodged doing 17 months in prison for similar activity and may face that outcome again. The YouTuber also suggested reviving the charity boxing match that Jones had previously challenged him to take part in, where Jones would put up £10,000 for a charity donation. He later backtracked, saying he didn't want to beat up an old man. Jones and Demon have been at odds for most of the year, which culminated in a series of live streams in May, including one outside of Jones's house in Wales, where Demon exposed claims Jones had made about his personal life and his lifestyle as untruths. The entire cast of the Welsh News Network entered their association with Jones at that time. Former WNN panel members Shuggy, Pope Phil II, and Jim Finch have appeared on Demon's show in support of his efforts to expose apparent untruths promoted by Jones. After having gone quiet for most of the past few months, Jones recently returned to YouTube by putting out a series of motivational videos, along with videos covering the First World War, and resumed airing of out-of-copyright movies on his Welsh News Network channel. Jones nor Demon are directly associated with Really Cool News, Auditing Insanity, or any of the shows produced on the Really Cool Site YouTube channel. It's Future Jim here again, saying thank you to everyone who has helped us reach 500 subscribers and level 1 monetization. It came a lot quicker than we thought due to the help of NCR News Network, so thank you NCR, and thank all of you for being a part of this. We're at level 1 monetization. After the smoke clears and all the people who want to hate unsubscribed, and once we're back at 500, once we're steady, we will apply for monetization, and we are scheduling our all-star panel for tomorrow night for our celebration of 500. So again, thank you all for being a part of this, and here's to keep on keeping on. Have a wonderful evening, and take care all. We'll see you in the morning.